Hello, friends, and welcome back to Centering for Lent. Today is Wednesday, February 17th, and we are continuing to explore Ignatian spirituality this week. I'm really excited today because we're going to engage in one of my favorite forms of spiritual practice, and this is called Imaginative Scriptural Meditation. Now, that's not like an official name, that's the name that I just kind of give to it. There's no real category about it, but basically, what it is just using your imagination to imagine yourself in Scripture through the practice of contemplative centering prayer and meditation. So, what we're going to do today is I'm not going to have an intro today. We'll have one again tomorrow. But instead, I want to focus on this because this is a little bit longer practice, and I really want to invite you to get settled into it. Because, again, this is an extremely useful and really cool practice where you can have some really powerful experiences, but it takes some time to get into. So, we're going to go right into it. So you need for this practice, again, it's called Imaginative Scriptural Meditation, so you need to put your imagination caps on. So put your kid hat on for this one, because it's all about using your imagination. We're going to read a scripture passage. We're going to base this on a scripture passage from John 2, the wedding at Cana, and I will ask you to imagine yourself within the scene of the story as it is unfolding. So I'm going to ask you some prompting questions and kind of narrate the scene in order to help you do that, to get into this headspace. So again, this one may seem a little bit strange at first, but it is a powerful way to practice when you grow used to it. So without any further ado, are you ready to get into our practice today? Take just a few moments now and settle in to a breathing rhythm. Become at home in your body and present in this moment. Notice any discomforts and just slow your breathing down in a mindful way. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. As you become more aware, just develop a nice steady rhythm, a pace of breathing that is comfortable and natural, that you can also stay mindful of. And just be aware of your breathing as we begin our practice together. I invite you to take a moment and invite God to be present with you in this moment to illuminate your practice today. And now we're going through the story of the wedding at Cana. And as we go through the story, I invite you to use your imagination to bring the story to life in your mind. As you approach the wedding, you're walking at an excited pace, dressed in your finest clothing and shoes, and it is a beautiful day outside. Slightly hot, but nice, with a cool breeze that wafts through every now and then. As you draw closer, you can smell the food being prepared for guests as your mouth begins to water. You enter the courtyard, and as you do, you see many people who have arrived before you just rummaging around, talking, laughing, socializing, and sipping on their wine. You look around for people that you know, and as you scan the crowd, you can't help but notice a tall young man and a middle-aged woman towards the back of the crowd. What do they look like? How are they standing? What feeling do you get as you notice them? You notice that this young man seems to be there with a group of friends, so you head off to work other parts of the room. Later in the evening, after the wedding festivities and the food, you find yourself standing next to this man and the lady who appears to be his mother. And so you hone in on their conversation, just to hear. The lady says, "Oh no, look, it seems they have run out of wine. What a terrible thing to have happen when everyone is here." And the man replies, "But woman, what does this have anything to do with me? It is not yet my time." But the lady turns quickly to the servants and says, "My son here, he will help you. Just do as he says." Your eyes are drawn to this young man as you follow his finger as he points to 6 large stone jars in the corner that you hadn't noticed before. And he instructs them, "Go and fill these jugs with water." You watch curiously as the servants pick up each of the jars and carry them off, and then struggle to carry them back when they're full of water. Your mind begins to race, thinking, what on earth is going on here? As you try to make sense of the scene unfolding before you, what questions arise in your mind? What feelings are you having about this moment? Once all of the jars are filled to the brim, you hear this man instruct them, "Now draw some water from the jars and take it to the master of ceremonies." And so you watch them, again curious, as they go and draw some of the water out of these vessels, and they do it with very skeptical looking faces. What do you hear during this moment? Are they murmuring under their breath? Are they silent? What are their mannerisms? How do they carry themselves as they draw the water and carry it over to the master of ceremonies? You watch them as they hurriedly take this sample of water to the host, and you watch him intently as he raises the cup to his lips, and you expect a puzzled look. But as he lowers the cup, you notice an incredulous reaction, and he laughs and smiles in pleasant, jubilant surprise. Immediately, he jumps up on a table and gathers everybody's attention and yells, "Everybody listen up. We have a real treat tonight. Usually it is the good wine that is served first, and after our taste buds grow a bit drowsy, the poor wine comes out. But this night, it seems, our hosts have kept the good wine back until now. Go, you must have a glass." And you notice the people heading for the wine stations as an excitement falls over the crowd. What do you notice about how they move? What voices do you hear? What emotions are people experiencing? You turn back to the place you were looking before, and you notice that one of the stone vessels that had been filled with the water is still left. You scratch your head as you try to make sense of what you have just seen. How is this possible? What is going on? And so you decide that you must find out for yourself. So you walk over to the lone jar, and as you do, this young man and his mother are still standing there beside it. As you draw your cup, the man says, "Allow me to serve you." You don't respond because you are simply dumbfounded. You watch as he slowly dips the ladle into the jar, and watch the deep red color of the liquid as it swirls around and the wine collects into the ladle. You notice the firelight from the candle flicker off the ripples made as he lifts the ladle and pours it into your cup. As he hands you your cup, you look directly into this man's face. And he smiles warmly and looks intently back at you. What is the expression on his face in this moment? What feelings do you gather as you look upon him? Does he move slowly and methodically, or does he move quickly? What sense or what energy do you get just being in his presence? Can you smell the sweetness of the wine? What does it smell like? Does time seem to stand still in this moment? And what sense do you have about this captivating individual? You reach out now and take the cup from his outstretched hand. And as you do, he says, "Here, I hope you enjoy a taste of my work." And he gives you a wink and puts his hand on your shoulder as you take a taste of the wine. Take a moment now and just imagine this moment and the taste of the wine on your lips. As this moment draws to a close, do you imagine the conversation that assumes between you and this young man? Friends, I now invite you to take a few moments and become mindful of your breathing again. Slowly become more aware of the inhale and the exhale. And I invite you to begin to open your eyes and come back into the room and back into the present moment. It may be disorientating at first, but just slowly become aware of your body again. Just take a moment at the end of our practice and thank God for this time and for this moment. There you have it, friends. I hope you enjoyed our practice today. Again, this using your imagination to read Scripture is one of my favorite practices, and we're going to do this for the next couple of days. So please don't forget to like or share this practice if it was meaningful to you, and I hope that you have a blessed day as we continue centering for Lent. Happy Wednesday, and now may you go in peace. Shalom, friends.